Today, we're covering the top 20 Wilt Chamberlain basketball cards. It can range from 1961 all the way to 2003. The most expensive card on this list has sold for $1.7 million, but this list also includes some foreign issues, test issues, and tough stuff that you barely see. All right, let's take a look at some cards. We're going to cover the top 20 Wilt Chamberlain basketball cards. If you're not familiar with who Wilt Chamberlain is, one of the dominant players in basketball history, holding numerous records such as most rebounds in a single game, consecutive field goals in a game, most points per game in a season, most minutes per game in a season, and most points in a single game, where he scored 100 points in a game, a record that is still not broken to this day. Also won 2 NBA championships, 4-time MVP, and known for his scoring, rebounding, and athleticism. Also played pro volleyball after his NBA career. We're going to start off with the 1961 Fleer card number 8. This card recently made headlines this year, if you're watching in 2024, although this video will be out in 25, for selling 1.7 million for his SGC 10. Actually, no, the shop owner that was able to do that deal, and it's super impressive. Fine. Regardless, there's now 4 PSA 10s because this SGC 10 dated cross. And this is widely considered the Wilt Chamberlain rookie card. He has 2 in the 1961 Fleer set. You'll see the one the next slide. And lower grade copies of this selling from $2,000 to $4,000. Up next, card number 47. So his other card within the set. This typically sells anywhere from like 10 to 20% of the value of card number 8, depending on the grade and depending on centering and such. You can typically find a PSA 7 about $1,000. Again, based off of centering, they go up or down, and I appeal because cards have not always been graded accurately. Regardless, a PSA 10 of this sold for $14,000 in 2019, but PSA 9 sold for $20,000 in 2024. This is also considered an in-action card, which is typical in the 61s. So a lot of the bigger names have inactions. All right, we're jumping into an Italian issue from 1968, Mira Tutto Sport. This is a multi-sport release. You can find everything from Olympians to basketball players to golfers in this set. I quite enjoy this set, although I don't know if I even own one card in this set right now. I have to think about it. But regardless, there's 2 different backs that you can find. So they have the typical Tutto Sport one, which is above, and then you also have the Regalo, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but the Regalo is a much tougher version of the card to find, and there's a big premium for it. Price-wise on these, so the Regalo in a PSA 3 has sold for $4,000, but the highest sold price of this card in general is a PSA 6 that sold in 2020 for $5,500. Another 1968. This is from a Topps test issue, and very few sold prices on this. So the PSA 8 sold back in 2022 for $55,000. It's a total of pop 14, and there's 22 cards in the set, which will end up building a picture of Wilt. This is easily a grail in the hobby, and a lot of people even just chase 1968 Topps test issue basketball cards, and Wilt being the best in the set. Another card that's easily considered a grail viz is the NBA P. These were considered to be hand cut, although I don't believe the theory has fully been proven or not. This card has not sold, at least on VCP, taking a look at sold prices. Maybe it has sold it at an auction or they didn't record it. But the Bill Russell recently sold for $3,500, and Wilt probably would eclipse that. And a pretty cool image on this one. A card that's way easier to find, 1969 Topps card number 1. This is his technically first flagship Topps card, and it's a pop 9 and a PSA 9 with no 10s out there. You can typically find a 5 under $200 relatively easily. And sold prices, a PSA 9 sold for $72,000 in 2023. But what's interesting is there's also a 9 that sold for $276,000 in 2022. Another 1969 Topps rulers. These were inserted into packs. They're folded 3 times over here. There's 2 PSA 10s out there, 7 9s. The highest sale price out there that I've seen was a PSA 8 that sold for $4,205 in 2024. You can find threes to fives anywhere from 250 to 500 bucks. Jumping a year to 1970, a second tall boy card. There's 30 PSA 9s out there, and you can find a 6 relatively easily under $200. A 9 sold for $7,500 in 2024. 1971 Topps now, card number 70. This is Wilt's second normal sized flagship card. His first normal size obviously was 61 Fleer. Now you have 1971. Although, would you count this as the third because he has the 261 Fleers? Either way, and what's interesting on this is it's also his first card showing the Lakers jersey. And most others, it's just warm up gear. PSA 7 sells for about 250 bucks. A PSA 9 is 5,600. The highest sales price is a 10 that sold for 6,600, but that was all the way back in 2018. I don't see how that doesn't go well over $10,000 today. 1972 card number 1. I really like the 72 design on basketball cards. You can find a 7 about $175, and there's 5 PSA 10s out there. The 10 has sold for about $25,000 in 2023. And a kind of fun fact on this card is Chamberlain has his jersey on backwards in this photo. Another card that features the same image is the Com Spec, and this was a regional set issued in California. The paper stock is very thin, and these are super condition sensitive. And prices on these went crazy in 2024 at Heritage and Huggins and Scott. I'm not too sure what happened. They were expensive cards in the past, but like they 10x'd in a year or so. So I don't know if someone discovered this set and wanted to buy them. 3 sold in 2024 for $10,800, and there's 2 8.5s out there. A 1972 Icy Bear, not a super tough card to find. A PSA 8 is about $220. There's 10 10s out there. Sold price on the 10 is about $5,000, but that was in 2021, so I would assume it's probably about a $7,000 to $8,000 card today. A card that's kind of debatable if it's technically a card or not is these 1972 Spalding advisory staff photos. They're graded like cards, so I kind of threw this in here. It's a set of 7 photos. It's a pop 3. There's 2 3s out there and 1 4. The PSA 4 sold for $810. A 1973 Topps card number 80. The set also has an inaction card of Wilt, and this was his last playing day year. There's only 110 out there. That sold for $41,000 in 2022. A 9 is about $1,500. All right, we're jumping a bit ahead. 1978 Magic Motion. These were distributed by 7-Eleven. It's a multi-sport release. You can find Nolan Ryan in there. SGC4 sold for $1,742 in 2022. PSA 8 sold in 2021 for $3,120. First autograph card was from 1992 Upper Deck. This card also has a version has the non-autograph. You would typically see that quite a bit with some of the early 90s Upper Deck autographs. The highest price on this that I've seen was a 6 that sold for $26.28. There has been other higher grades that have sold in the past, but regardless, there's that. I don't think you can find this card under $1,500, but I'm not an expert on 90s autographs. Okay, the first game used jersey card of Wilt Chamberlain, at least from my research, is this 1999-2000 Upper Deck Legends. You can find this card under $100. There's a recent sale of this BGS 8 that sold for $89. Also, a lot of early 2000s jersey cards of Wilt are about $100 or cheaper, which kind of seems like a bargain to me because I don't think there would be a ton of his jersey cards or jerseys out there. And especially looking at some of the price points on historic baseball players. We'll still cover some other jersey cards a little bit later, but they're going to be a lot more expensive. 2 autographs from 1999. These were signed shortly before he ended up passing away. Up first is we have the Incredible, probably should pronounce it a little bit better. $21,960 on this card right over here. There's also a level 2 variant that's numbered at 13. It did $190,000 on eBay and auction back in 2021. All right, and The second autograph from 1999 is this Upper Deck Century Legends Epic Signatures. There's two versions of this card. There's the base, and then there's also the Century, which I have over here to the right. It's numbered to 100, and you can see like the gold background. That number to 100 recently sold for $13,500. And the highest recent sale of this Epic Signature, just normal edition, BGS 9.5 sold this year for $11,590. But the highest price on a BGS 9.5 auto is $20,400, but that was back in 2022. Last card featured is going to be this 2003 Exquisite Triple patch. Man, those patches are amazing. Wilt has quite a few cards from 2003 Exquisite as well, but I just put only one over here. In fact, he does have other Exquisite cards in 05 and 06, and I probably should have put them in the video, but that would have taken away from some of the other playing day cards. So if you guys want to see me expand these and throw a few other Exquisites in here or not, just let me know down below. I can always add them to videos. But regardless, first year Exquisite. I think this is also some of his first patches, although he may have some stuff a little bit earlier. This is numbered to 10 and sold for $11,070. And that's it for Wilt Chamberlain's top 20 cards. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's a ton of research that gets put into these, and if you found it fun, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you like vintage basketball, I have a monthly recap here on the channel, so you can click right over here to check out last month's video. And thank you to our channel members. All right, I'll catch you guys in another video.